Think your 2024 packing habits will sail through airports in 2025? Not so fast. Airlines and security teams have quietly updated how they screen, weigh, and flag bags, and most travelers don't find out until they're stuck at the gate paying surprise fees or watching an agent unpack their carry-on piece by piece. The goal of this video is simple: help you glide through checkpoints and boarding without fines, delays, or awkward repacking at the belt. I'm breaking down 12 must-know carry-on rules for 2025, focusing on the new enforcement tactics and the hidden triggers that get bags pulled aside. Follow these and you'll save time, money, and stress, especially the last tip, which is the quickest way to get flagged when you're running late.
Hi, I'm George, here to unlock the secrets you never knew existed. Welcome back to Altitude Hacks.
1. Weight limits at the gate, not just size. Airlines have doubled down on carry-on weight rules, and the enforcement happens where it hurts most, right at boarding. Your bag may fit the sizer perfectly and still fail a last-minute weigh-in if it's over the airline's threshold, which often sits between 15 and 22 pounds and can be even tighter on regional jets. Gate agents now carry handheld scales and target bags that look stuffed or feel heavy when lifted. A forced gate check fee here is brutal, often higher than the price to check a bag online in advance. Prevent this by weighing your carry-on at home with a small luggage scale, moving dense items like laptops and books into your personal item, and checking your exact airline's limit before you leave. 10 seconds with a scale can save you $50 to $100. 2. Electronics must come out every time. The fastest way to trigger a full hand search is to leave large electronics buried in your bag. Laptops, tablets, e-readers, gaming consoles, and big cameras create opaque blocks on the X-ray that hide whatever sits behind them. When an officer sees that, the bag gets pulled and everything gets unpacked, which can cost you 20 minutes you don't have. Pack electronics in an exterior pocket, rehearse taking them out and putting them back quickly, and assume that anything bigger than a phone must go in a tray by itself, unless you're in a clearly marked lane that permits electronics to stay inside. Showing you're prepared signals low-risk traveler and keeps you moving. 3. Loose lithium batteries are a fire risk. Unprotected lithium cells are a hard stop in 2025. If a battery isn't sealed in a device, in its retail packaging, or inside a proper terminal covering case, it's considered loose, and loose cells can short against coins, keys, or other batteries, generating dangerous heat. That includes spare camera batteries, vape cells, power tool packs, and even some power bank modules. If a screener spots a loose cell on X-ray, your bag gets escorted to a secondary table and the battery is removed on the spot. Pack spares in individual plastic cases or the original box. It's a small purchase that prevents a massive headache and a potential emergency diversion. 4. Smart luggage needs a pop-out battery. Smart suitcases are only allowed if the lithium battery can be removed instantly. No tools, no digging, no guesswork. Permanently installed cells are a non-starter because crews can't safely deal with a thermal runaway in the cabin or hold. Boarding agents have been trained to check for a visible, accessible battery compartment and will reject bags that don't pass the 10-second removal test. Before you buy, make sure the battery tray is obvious and test the removal at home. If the power system can't become inert with a quick pop, it's not travel smart. 5. Powders over 12 ounces trigger extra screening. Protein tubs, ground coffee, spices, baby formula, cosmetic powders, anything powder-like over roughly 12 ounces, about a soda can, will be pulled for additional testing. Powders can mask or mimic prohibited substances on X-ray, so officers open each container and may swab for residue. That adds minutes per item and can snowball if you packed several big tubs. The painless workaround is to split powders into smaller, clearly labeled containers under the limit and place them where they're easy to reach. Grouping similar items in a separate pouch speeds the inspection if you're selected. 6. Liquids. The container size is what counts. The 3-1-1 rule hasn't gone away, but its enforcement has sharpened. Agents judge the container's maximum capacity, not how much is left inside. A half-used 6-ounce bottle still exceeds the limit and gets tossed. TSA's definition of liquid keeps expanding to include gels and spreadables. Think peanut butter, hummus, creamy makeup, gel insoles, and thick balms. Use a transparent quart-sized bag, verify the printed capacity on every container, and avoid bringing 2 liquids bags just for a short trip. If an officer finds an oversized item, you generally won't be allowed to decant it on the spot. 7. One personal item means one. The tiny purse plus laptop bag plus duty-free plus camera sling move is getting flagged by both humans and hardware. Gates are testing AI-assisted cameras and handheld dimension scanners to count and measure what you carry. If it has its own strap or handle, many airlines will treat it as a separate item, and fees stack fast. The fix is to consolidate visually. Nest your purse inside the laptop bag, clip small pouches to the inside of your main tote, or use a single personal item backpack with compartments for everything. The point isn't fewer things, it's one object seen by the agent. 8. Opaque metal water bottles invite a bag check. Emptying your bottle isn't always enough. Double-walled stainless steel and thick metal bottles can appear as a solid block on X-ray, which means officers can't confirm they're empty without a manual check. Some designs even get confiscated when internal voids or false bottom-like features can't be cleared. If you want a friction-free screening, carry a transparent plastic bottle or a clear collapsible one. When the scanner can see through, you avoid the extra step of unscrewing, shaking, and disassembling at the table. 9. Power banks must be clearly under 100 watt-hours. High-capacity power banks are lifesavers until the label is unreadable or the math is fuzzy. Anything over 100 watt-hours is not permitted in carry-on, and if your bank only lists milliamp hours, milliampere hour, officers may ask you, or do it themselves, to convert using watt-hours equals milliampere hour XV/1000. Many 30,000 milliampere hour bricks tip over the limit once voltage is factored in. Buy and carry packs with an explicit watt-hours rating printed on the case, keep packaging or a spec sheet handy, and skip mystery brands with smudged labels. If the number can't be verified at the belt, the pack won't fly. 10. Overcompressed packing looks suspicious on X-ray. The tighter you Tetris your bag, the more it resembles a single dense block on the monitor. Interleaving electronics with rolled clothes, jamming socks into shoes, and filling every gap can create shadows that obscure shapes. That's a recipe for a hand search where your entire life gets laid out in bins. Instead, use packing cubes to separate categories, leave a little breathing room, and keep electronics in their own easy access zone. This organization reads clearly on the scanner and speeds you through. 11. Medications need original labels and proof. Life-saving prescriptions can still be delayed or confiscated if they aren't properly documented. Unmarked pill organizers, meds prescribed to someone else, and controlled substances without paperwork trigger verification or a law enforcement call. Keep prescription medicines in original pharmacy containers with your name visible. Carry a copy of the prescription and a doctor's note for injectables or refrigerated meds. And check destination rules if you're flying internationally. Some countries restrict drugs that are routine at home. Preparation here isn't just about convenience. It protects your access to treatment while traveling. 12. Food rules. TSA versus agriculture. Security screening isn't the only hurdle. USDA agriculture inspections operate under a different set of laws. Fresh produce, meats, dairy, and certain processed foods can be seized or fined at the federal level, and violations can follow you in customs databases for years. The trap is international connections. What was legal domestically may be prohibited on arrival. Stick to sealed, commercially packaged snacks with clear ingredient lists, and read your destination's agriculture guidance before you pack that artisan cheese or homemade jerky. A $300 fine is a painful way to learn the rules. These 12 triggers aren't random gotchas. They're direct responses to real incidents. Battery fires, overweight bins, opaque scans, and clever smuggling methods that forced airports to evolve. The good news is you don't need special status or expensive gear to beat the system. You just need to pack like 2025. not 2015. Weigh your bag before you leave. Stage electronics for quick removal. Case every spare battery. Use clear bottles and a single, tidy personal item. Label prescriptions and keep food simple and sealed. Spend 10 minutes prepping at home, and you'll save hours at the airport. And a fistful of cash and last-minute fees. What's the wildest thing you've seen flagged at security? Drop it in the comments, share this with your travel crew, and subscribe to Altitude Hacks for more airport intelligence that keeps you one step ahead of the rules. Safe travels.